Hey NHL fans, the wait is over. The National Hockey League gets underway on Tuesday, October 11th, and last season, 8 Wager Talk handicappers went over 50 units in the NHL. To celebrate the start of the season, we are offering a 7-day NHL package for only $49. Yes, that's only $7 a day, and it will be valid through Sunday, October 9th. Don't worry, NBA fans, we'll be running the same special for you next week.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back right here to Wager Talk TV. You are watching Puck Time. We are extremely excited to be back. We are extremely excited that the NHL season is back. We're off a very exciting and successful, I should say, season last year here on Puck Time. All of our guests will be back, of course. And today we have Don Buster joining us. My co-host Carmine Bianco back with me again this year. And guys, today just two games to break down. We have the Rangers going head-to-head with the Tampa Bay Lightning and the nightcap with the Golden Knights and the LA Kings. But I first of all want to thank all of you that tuned in and checked out our futures video we did here on Wager Talk TV. If you have not checked that out yet, make sure you do that. Give it a like. Subscribe to our channel if you have not quite yet. I thought it was a great video. Before I do anything, I will let you guys know we have a deal going right now. 7 days NHL action works out $7 a day, $49 for 7 days of NHL action to open the season, kick things off. Looking forward to having a great season. Carmine Bianco, I'll bring you in, man. We've talked about it all summer long. It was nice to have a break for, I don't know, I'd say about a month. But I missed hockey, man. I'm pumped to be back here.
Excited to have hockey back. Just so much stuff happened during the off season, players moving. It just seemed like every other day, like my head was literally exploding with like, this guy win here, that Johnny Gaudreau win here, and Ubador win here is just amazing. But we saw that almost that carousel the previous off season with goaltenders moving all over the place. So it's a great season. This game is absolutely phenomenal. How can you not love hockey? You don't have to worry about a roughing the passer call that isn't like in last night's game. And this is just the greatest sport. And I love doing this show, Andrew, because you just look at our chat group, you look at the comments after the videos, a lot of knowledgeable people exchanging information. We see it in our chat, live chat each and every day. The Pucksters are absolutely phenomenal. We love having them tune in. And then, of course, our guests that come on the show. So I'm looking forward to this NHL season, Andrew. That deal is a great one. And you, my friend, are the $2 capper at Wager Talk. So I am going to wish you the best of luck. And our first guest of the brand new season, this guy, man, I want to live this guy's life. Andrew, let me tell you what this guy did. And he went, first of all, to the UK. He goes to Ascot to watch the races. Sends me some pictures. The guy is dressed to the nines. From there, the guy goes to Wimbledon. Brings me back a pen, by the way, man, because I'm a tennis fan. He brought me back a pen, and I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite pens now. So I want to thank him for that. And then the guy goes to Saratoga, one of the best horse racing venues you can go to. It's Del Mar and Saratoga. If you're a horse racing fan, you go to one of those places. This guy is living the life. Let's bring him in. Don Buster, welcome to the new season of Puck Time.
Well, thanks a lot, guys, for having me. I'm glad you guys backed me up and kept me on my Tuesday spot. I love being on here on Tuesdays, talking some hockey with you guys. And yes, Carmine, we did go on a little bit of a trip of a lifetime there. It didn't start out. It started out actually as something somber, but we turned it into something good. And I have a funny feeling maybe you should be cheesing me off a little bit with that Wimbledon pen, because I gave you that before somebody won. Let's just put it this way: a lot of cheese in that circuit contest. So I gotta believe my pen had something to do with it. You may have been circling stuff around and everything. So congratulations on that. Great to see you guys. Andrew, I haven't talked to you at all most of the summer. So glad to see you guys looking good as ever. Really looking forward to talking hockey here. And yeah, we got a couple of games. Off season has been crazy. I guess there's maybe half the teams have new coaches. Another half have got new starting goaltending. So all that stuff is going to come to play early, and it'll be interesting to see how these new coaches and how these new goaltenders do with their new teams. So I'll let it go to you, Andrew, and let's have a great show, boys.
Let's do it. And like you said, lots of change in the offseason. We'll break that down as the games start to come up here. In the first game we will talk about here in the Eastern Conference, we have a rematch here from the conference finals in the playoffs last year. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they're in Madison Square Garden, taking on the New York Rangers, who are minus 120 favorites. You can get Tampa Bay plus 100. They took 3 straight trips to the Stanley Cup Finals. That's about as impressive as it gets, but every single year, including this year, the roster changed just a little bit. The question is here, will the New York Rangers take over as that new top dog in the Eastern Conference? Well, they're starting things out as favorites in this contest to open up the season for them at home. Look, guys, I want to start off by saying, Buster and I were talking about it for a second now before we went on air here. Vincent Trocheck, a big pickup for the New York Rangers. I thought he was an outstanding addition for this team. He's a guy that goes under the radar, a great two-way player, an experienced player, a guy that played under a great system in Carolina. He just adds to the depth of this Rangers team, and I think the Rangers already have a very deep core with experienced players, with Zibanejad and Kreider, and then a great blue line, and lots of young players as well. Oh, yeah, and let's not forget Igor Shesterkin led the New York Rangers to being ranked second in goals against in the NHL last year. But then you look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, Carm, a team that just consistently gets the job done, that has done it time and time and time again. They have all kinds of players that are always stepping up. And, of course, a great goaltender as well in Vasilevsky. I got to say, it's hard for me to not look at the under in this game. I mean, there's too many stats that back this up. But, guys, I have a funny feeling that this game might start off a little bit fast. I think we might be able to get a better number in-game. I honestly think we could see goals out the gate, and then the game kind of slows down a little bit. But with the revenge factor, with the trades, and with 3 straight very, very long seasons, I'd lean towards the Rangers here and the under. What about you, Carm?
Yeah, Andrew, we're right there. Like, the interesting thing is, when we looked and you and I were talking leading up to this show about like season win totals or point totals for some of these teams, and you look at, Tampa's at 100 and I think it's Tampa's at 103.5 points. The Rangers are only at 99.5, and they had that great season last year, 110 points. But the East as a whole has gotten so much better this year. There's obviously some separation between maybe the top 9 or 10 teams and then everyone who's left in this in this Eastern Conference. But I think Tampa's going to have a tough time getting over that 103 points. Listen, they're a great team. Obviously, their run came. Their run obviously ended last year. Colorado took care of them, but I'm looking at the upside, and I just think that the Rangers have more upside than Tampa. It was a great season for them. They're going to have to rely on Shesterkin still to get them a lot of the wins, to steal some games, because this is a team that I think only averaged, I think it was 2.35 goals per game, if my numbers were correct last season. So you need that when you have a good goalie. You're going to need to score some goals. You're going to have to score some goals. As to tonight's game, if you remember that 6-game series in the conference finals last year, that first game I think was 6-2 in that game. Tampa was coming off obviously another series, but New York just took them to the woodshed in that one. But after that, every single game went under the total or 5 goals or less in that one. And you've got the 2 great goalies going at it again. This is one of those ones where you have to lean the under. Your idea of maybe getting a better number in game, if there's an early goal, that could pop up to like a 6 or a 6.5. But right from the get-go, I'm going to be on the under here. I think the Rangers win this one in a low scoring affair. So give me the under on this one. Buster, where are you looking?
Well, guys, it's funny. I know last year most of the time I would disagree with you guys. And every once in a while, we would come up and I would actually agree with you. This is a little bit scary. I'm of the same mindset that I really like the Rangers tonight. You can't bet it over, that's for sure. I like the under, like Carmine said. Last 5 games went under this 5.5 total in the playoffs, and with the playoffs and regular season. No, with the last 5 games of the playoffs, that's what went under the 5.5. But I really like I think the Rangers are the play here. I think it's a good situation for them. I'm a firm believer of instant revenge. And this is about as instant as it gets. I'm sure once they saw the schedule, they knew they were getting them at home. And I think that's key, that they get them at home. They beat them those first 2 games of the playoffs at home. They actually won all 3 games last year against Tampa Bay. And of course, and Carmine, I know me and you get ribbed a lot about saying last names, and we kind of butcher a bunch of last names. We'll leave it to the young buck to let it's his forte. He's got all those names down pat. So when I've been ribbed on Igor's name, the last name I always screwed up for whatever reason, just one of those things. So let's just going to say I'm going to use first names a lot more this year on the shows. So I love Igor in this spot. He's been great at home. Like, he's been really good. The Vezina Trophy winner, of course, but he's got 1.85 goals against average at home last year. And the only game they played against Tampa last year, shut up 4-0. Tampa Bay is going to be Tampa Bay. I think they're going to have a really good team. They're going to try to get to the Stanley Cup for a 4th straight time. But there's a ton of competition, like always, with, we got Florida, Carolina, and these Rangers. I really like this club. Andrew, you mentioned it about Trocheck. I know they lose Strome, but still, Trocheck, I think that the problem with the Rangers that we all know, they struggle to score goals. That's been their problem, especially they got beat up on 5-5 in the playoffs. But then again, the playoff against Tampa Bay. The playoffs, though, they're a little bit of a different animal. But for me, just really like this Rangers team, especially for the season and of course for tonight. And one other little handicap that you can throw in there, I really don't think Tampa Bay is going to be mentally prepared for this. They're like 48 hours out of the suspension of Cole, and now they got to go to MSG, and MSG has been a tough spot. Even for Vasilevsky, it's been a tough spot for him. If you're going to get him, you're going to get him at MSG. So give me the Rangers in this one.
I agree with you that, first of all, home ice advantage matters. Shesterkin plays well at home, but also the revenge factor matters. I think the revenge is almost more important than the fact that Tampa Bay has played so many games recently. But it's pretty impressive to look at the run that they made in the playoffs, 3 straight years, albeit, a little bit of a different rosters for each of those times. But there's got to be some fatigue there, no doubt about it. I wanted to mention real quick, Carm, you and I cashed some tickets quite a bit last year in the playoffs on Andre Palat. He'll not be playing for the New Jersey Devils this year. So, that's a big loss for them. A guy that, again, will go under the radar, but he's a guy that is a great 2-way hockey player, scores goals for them. And Ryan McDonough, he's also gone from that team. So some changes for them, but we know what they're capable of. We know they're a deep team. It should be a great hockey game to start things off.
And they still have they still have a ton of talent on that team. It's going to be interesting that that Atlantic Division with them, Florida and Toronto is just going to be a roller coaster throughout the year of teams. Top of the Atlantic and then in second and third. It's just great. We'll see how the playoffs eventually shake out. It's only game 1, but in talking about Shesterkin and talking about the season he had last year at home, he was 21-16-3 with a 1.85 goals against average, and in October last year, 7-1-1 out of the gate, 1.70 goals against average. So he started fairly quickly last year as far as keeping pucks out of the net. So we'll see what happens tonight.
And if some people say they aren't entertained by low-scoring games, you got to watch this game because it's still going to, whether or not it's 1-0 final or 6-2, these teams put on a show, and these goaltenders definitely put on a show. So look forward to this one in the Eastern Conference. Our Western Conference game here tonight, we have the Kings visiting or taking on the Golden Knights here. Buster, when we look at this matchup here, we have the Los Angeles Kings as favorites, and they pick up Kevin Fiala. They had Deneau from our Habs. They picked him up last year. He was a great addition for them. They're turning into a more well-rounded team. Drew Doughty, he's healthier this year after a great offseason and recovering from his injury. Totals at 6 in this game. There's been some changes for both teams, but I'll tell you what. Jack Eichel, he escapes Buffalo. Phil Kessel escapes Arizona. Who would have thought those two guys would ever be playing together?
Jesus.
It seems like both these teams are really coming together. And, Vegas, after being injured and dealing with COVID problems, they're feeling a lot better and more well-rounded, being a lot healthier. This should be a great matchup. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I agree. Both these games tonight, what a great – I know they started overseas with the Nashville San Jose, but, I mean, this to me is the real start of the regular season. And 2 great games tonight. Yeah, I tell you, the total's at 6 here. I do like it over. I know it's 6 under 20, so I'm looking to see if it gets to that 5.5. Not sure if it's going to make my card or not, but I think even at 6, I like this game over. Last year – LA's first game of the season was against these Vegas at home, and they beat Vegas 6-2. Actually, these teams, when they play, the last year they went 3-0-1 to the over, which was with the line at 6. So I like that. I think both teams should be able to score tonight, and I think the goaltending might be a little suspect for both teams. No Laner for Vegas, of course. He's gone for the season. As far as who they have Logan Thompson. And it seems to be he's going to be the man for Vegas. And you know what? It's a lot of pressure to be the man right now because Brossoit, he's injured as well. I think they brought up Aiden Hill as a backup. So may see some goals tonight because, I know Thompson played well for them, but you could see some goals. As far as quick, well, you're not getting playoff quick. You're getting regular season quick, and Quick struggled at home. So I don't know about the side here. This we talked about doing draws or whatever. This might be a good draw to start out. I don't know if you're a draw player, but anyways, give me the over here with the Vegas and Los Angeles.
All right, Buster, expecting goals in this one after the three of us really thought that the under was a pretty good look in the first game. Expecting some goals here in this second one. Buster, anything else you wanted to add there? I see you moving your head a little bit.
No, I just no, it's all good. No, I'm good.
All good. Carm, it's funny when you see 2 games and one of them, you got 2 great goaltenders, 2 teams that win a lot of low-scoring games, and then you look at this one, and it might be a little bit different. Snipers all over the ice, some defensive cores that could be exposed a little bit, and then 2 goaltenders that, like Buster said, we might be scratching our heads a little bit to see if we can get some, proof that they're going to be steady out there, especially in night 1. Are you on the same page for some goals tonight?
Yeah, I think we see some. I was going to start off by saying this is a crucial 2 points for these teams, game 1 into the season, but. All joking aside, you look at this game, Andrew, and look at Vegas in general. I'm not going to say Vegas is going to struggle this year. I'm not going to say they're going to miss the playoffs, but it would not surprise me if Vegas missed the playoffs. So this is a team that went from just an absolute fantastic start to their franchise, the way the drafts were set up, and had some good seasons last year, a little disappointing, and obviously some question marks. Maybe we'll call it the Jack Eichel effect with Vegas. But you look at the teams in their division, and we're sort of forecasting here, but you've got Calgary and Edmonton, who I think are going to finish 1-2 in that division, however one way you shake it out. And then the LA Kings could be the one that keeps Vegas out of the top 3 in this division, and then fighting for what is essentially a wild card spot. You look at the teams in the West, and the East is so much better. I've said it already, but you look at Colorado, Edmonton, Calgary, Nashville, St. Louis, Dallas, LA Kings, and Minnesota, and you've got 8 teams there that are legitimate playoff teams. So we're going to see what happens. The Knights cannot get off to a slow start to this NHL season. If they do, it's much like what happened to the New York Islanders last year with that 13 games to start on the road trip, came home, COVID issues, and they were done and dusted before they even had a chance to make the playoffs. The Knights have to avoid that, and now they have goaltending issues. I actually like Logan Thompson. You figure he's going to be their goalie of the future, unless they bring somebody else in. But as far as tonight, I'm looking at the goals. I'm the same as you. Quick and goal there. I think this is. I think we see goals in this one, and the total being at 6. It's too early for books to start adjusting totals. I think we're going to see that because there are some teams that we expect to be higher scoring teams. This isn't one of those ones that you're going to see a 6.5 on later on in the season, but you're going to see solid 6s when these two teams play. And I'm going to take the over in this one.
Absolutely love it. And Carmine, if I do remember correctly, I think you and I got to see Logan Thompson play in Vegas when we saw them play together. So I think that, he's a solid goaltender. He has a bright future. And to be clear, I don't think any of us are really ripping on him. It's just, experience level, opening night, and facing a talented team. So I like the over, guys. And I don't like the side. I don't want to get involved because I think it's going to be a really good hockey game. And, I like to kind of like what Hakeem Prophet says quite often with NBA. For, there's a lot of side plays. I like to see the last 4 or 5 games of current form, right? This is the first game of the season for both teams. I haven't seen what they look like yet to have really much to base it off of. But what I can base this total off of, and the fact of the matter is, like Carmine mentioned and Buster and I were talking about, is the fact that Vegas is healthy. They went through hell and back at the end of the season last year. Now they've got Jack Eichel back. They added Phil Kessel. They've got so many weapons all over the ice, a defensive core that's more than willing to jump up into the rush and join their forwards. They've got lots of guys out there, and you talk about a guy like Anze Kopitar, a top liner for the LA Kings, adding Kevin Fiala, a guy that I think is really talented, and he's going to show that here. Kempe, all kinds of guys. Arvidsson, there's a lot of guys out there for the Kings that I just don't think get talked about enough. We can go up and over 6 in this one. I really like that play, and I think we can get it early and often. I mentioned with the Rangers game, maybe wait and get a live under in that game. With this one, I don't think there should be any waiting. I feel like we could see some goals here out the gate in the Western Conference contest here tonight. Carm, you pulled the Ralph Michaels.
Yeah.
I saw you have your pen
Yeah,
out,
I'm going to. I'm literally going to use. I just did, just before this show, I did stoppage time with Kevin Dolan, Nick Borman, and Pavlos Lagaretos. And Pavlos has a great tagline that we can use for this game. He literally says, with any soccer game, he goes, I like the over. I don't care who wins. So this is a great tagline. I'm going to play the over. I don't care who wins. I don't care if it's 4-3 Vegas or 4-3 the LA Kings. Just get it over the total.
Buster?
That's for sure. Andrew, I just wanted to mention one more thing with Vegas. We were talking about Vegas being healthy and everything. It's going to be very interesting to watch this club during the season because personally, I think Bruce Cassidy's an excellent coach. Always liked this guy. Always liked him. So it'll be very interesting to see the style of play. Like you say, they have all these guys. Is he going to let – and it sounds just by reading it, I've listened to him talk a little bit. It almost sounds like I wonder if they're going to try to just outscore teams, maybe, right? So I'm very interesting to see, or if he's going to put in like a more defensive structure. So I'm very interested to see how he coaches this club. And like I talked earlier, there's a whole bunch of new coaches, a whole bunch of new goaltenders, and I think you got to really, figure that out here and watch games and see the kind of styles these guys are going to go with. So I just wanted to add that, little thing.
No, that's a really good point. I think that he's a great coach. I think it's almost a blessing that he got canned from the Bruins. I mean, they're going in these teams are going in different directions. I think it's the Bruins front office. It's the general manager that's made a lot of mistakes, in my opinion, not Bruce Cassidy. Bruce Cassidy takes the blame for everything, and then knock, 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 the Vegas Golden Knights are at the door. That's a perfect scenario for him. So great point there. I didn't mention that, and I think it's definitely worth mentioning.
Yeah, he had about 5-6 teams were going after him. I mean, when the Bruins let him go, it was just boom. They were, everybody wanted him. I mean, and deservedly, because he's a very good coach, in my opinion.
If you could make a prop bet, I know that there's some bets out there for like which team will score the most goals this season. If you could give me a bet on which team will score the most power play goals, I think the Golden Knights would be up there in top 3 because their power play is going to be lethal. It's going to be really exciting. You know, and I think out the gate, guys, obviously we can't handicap this. And Carr made the joke about roughing the passer, and we talked about it before the show about NFL. We can't handicap, you know, officials, but some teams are actually good at staying out of the box, right? I think that I don't know if it was you, Carm, or someone on the show mentioned last year, Pittsburgh is one of the least penalized teams the past like 5 years, you know. But if they draw a lot of penalties, the Golden Knights are going to be dangerous, guys. So let's get some goals tonight. Let's get some goals in this.
So you're a believer in so you're a little bit believer in Kessel. Is that what it is, or?
Oh, do I am. Well, no, I mean, not really as much of a believer in him, just more so believing that he doesn't deserve to be in Arizona. You know, I think that that's a rebuilding team.
Yeah, listen,
I actually think they're going to do it the right way, but he spent his time there. You know,
Kessel's got 2 cups. Kessel can score. I think, you know, one of the things is, and then this all starts with like beat writers and what have you, not to spend too much time on this one, but one terrible reporter in Toronto, Steve Simmons, wrote an article about that Kessel would eat hot dogs prior to games and stuff. And then of course, all the memes and all social media jumps on this stuff that's actually not true. So whatever Kessel does, and I know Prez would have a completely different thing, this is a guy who showed up each and every night, played extremely well, and he's got 2 cups to show for it. So say what you want to say about Kessel, but the man does have talent.
Oh, you mentioned showing up each and every night, Carm. I think he still is in the running for the Ironman streak, right? I don't think he's missed a game.
He is.
So, I mean, hey, eat whatever you want. The guy's not missing any games. Once again, everybody at home, we are so pumped to be back. All the great excitement on our Twitter, just on our YouTube page, everything. We really appreciate all of you right now in the live chat, mixing it up, throwing your opinions out. Do us a favor, just hit the like button on the show and subscribe, comment, and let us know who you like. You know, we'll try and check out the comments every single day. Follow us on our Twitter account. We really, really do appreciate it. And if you want some picks, if you want to check out some hockey handicappers, the best thing to do right now, you know, dip your toe in the waters. It's $49 for 7 days, any hockey handicapper right now, I believe across both websites. So check that out, guys. And, hey, if you don't want to buy a full season just quite yet, check somebody out and just get 7 days for $7 a day. Regular picks, they cost $25, $7 a day for every NHL play from any handicapper you choose. Guys, let's jump into the best bets. Let's wrap up this show. It's kind of nice to just kind of warm up, you know, get back into the rhythm of things. Just 2 games tonight. I'll start with you, Carm, for your power play and what you have going for clients at wagertalk.com.
All right, there are no plays up for the NHL tonight. I will be loading one, and it's the one I'm going to talk about right now. But I have a 3-pack up in Champions League for today, match day 4, and a 5% going tomorrow in Champions League. So you can get that over at Wager Talk. Grab a 3-day package, 3-day all access, and you can get all plays Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to be a busy card for me. Andrew, I'm going to take the New York Rangers here. I'm going to lay the minus 120 here. It's kind of like the instant revenge or rapid revenge as we talked about. I just love the numbers on Shesterkin at home. Maybe a slow start to Tampa's season like they have the last few years, but they normally will pick it up. They do it each and every year. But I'm going to take the Rangers to get off to a winning start. Madison Square Garden is going to be absolutely rocking tonight. I'm looking forward to watching this game. So give me the New York Rangers as a short-priced favorite at home Don Buster, tell us what you got up at Sports Memo and a best bet.
Yeah, as you guys have been talking about that 7 days for the NHL, $49. Go over, check everything out at Sports Memo. We have an MLB playoff 2-pack going for today. The next round of the MLB playoffs are started, so we've got a 2-pack over at Sports Memo, so you can go over there and check that out. We're all, like I said earlier, we're all on the Rangers here, and hopefully come back on next Tuesday, and we're all happy about that we're all on the same side, and it'll be a new season, because last year, although when we've been all on the same side, I think we did all right last year. It wasn't always that often, to tell you the truth, because I'm usually always the devil's advocate against you guys. But I think for all the reasons we talked about earlier, the Rangers are the play here. I'm actually going to take the Rangers, of course, because it's a first period. I'm not going to take them first period puck line, but I will take them first period money line. I think they come right out and show some purpose for all the reasons. You got Igor and net, and it's going to be hard for them to score right away. And I really like the Rangers to maybe do what they did last year. The only game they played, Tampa Bay played in New York. New York dominated 1-4-0. That sounds like a good result for all of us tonight. And again, best of luck to everybody, and looking forward to a great NHL season.
Come on, Buster. For the love of God, I love your first period -0.5 plus juicy money plays, man. How can you not start us off with one of those? I get it. There's only 2 games. You're going to need more games.
They'll be coming. There's only 2 games.
Next Tuesday, I expect you to have a juicy play for us. And I just want to mention a couple of things before I throw it back to Andrew is we will have our regular segments returning probably in about a month's time. Once we get a feel for all of these games and all these teams, we'll have our buy and sell segment with Andrew on Mondays, and we'll have the 6 and 60 on Fridays. We love doing those segments. So they will be back shortly, but it's only the opening week of the season. So let's focus on the games at hand. Follow Puck Time WT on Twitter, myself, Andrew, and the guys on the show. I'm going to put up a contest. I'm going to give away some Puck Time T-shirts. So I will put up a contest for tonight's game on the Puck Time Twitter account. So make sure you're following that at Puck Time WT. Andrew, we're only one show in to the new season, and I'm taking tomorrow off. But Brian Leonard will be sitting in my chair tomorrow. I am flying out to Vegas, guys. I have to go and pick up that big novelty check from Circa for the first quarter win at in the Circa Millions contest. I'm looking forward to placing some NHL future bets with that money. So I get the day off tomorrow, but I'll be back on Thursday, Puck Time.
I'll tell you what, Carmine, if I took a shot of tequila every time you've been to Vegas in the past 2 years, I'd be absolutely on the floor, not being able to speak English. You have a good time. And you know what? You deserve to be there, though, collecting your big check. So, yeah, we'll have a good show. Brian and I will hold things down. Guys, let's wrap this show up. Let's get the last best bet here for me. And my best bet, we're going with goals. You know, we're all on the same page, just like Buster said. And hopefully today it's going to be a really good thing. I like the over 6 with the Golden Knights and the Kings. Look, the biggest key for me, 2 healthy rosters. You know, 2 really talented teams with healthy rosters, lots of depth, defensemen that activate all the time, jump into the rush, and goaltenders that I have maybe a couple question marks around. So in general here, I expect a really fast pace out of this game, lots of scoring opportunities. And like I mentioned during the show, I really do think both these teams have great power plays that will execute quite a bit. 4% play up for me for tonight in the NHL, and $2 Tuesday play up. But that play goes tomorrow. Grab it now at wagertalk.com. On behalf of Carmine, Buster, I'm Andrew. It is good to be back. We will see you guys next time.
Hey, NHL fans, the wait is over. The National Hockey League gets underway on Tuesday, October 11th, and last season, 8 Wager Talk handicappers went over 50 units in the NHL. To celebrate the start of the season, we are offering a 7-day NHL package for only $49. Yes, that's only $7 a day, and it will be valid through Sunday, October 9th. Don't worry, NBA fans, we'll be running the same special for you next week.